Surprise, surprise, surprise. From just a conversation to surprise, you're live.
No big deal. You're just fucking live on the internet. But that's okay because we're live kicking off the Planting the Seeds of Liberty tour. Poster was released today, put out onto the internet, and allowing everybody to know what's going on. Are you sure we're live so I'm not just talking to myself again? Please, boy person.
Anybody connecting? Are we just talking to ourselves?
Are we talking to ourselves? Talking to you. You talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
So we're not alone.
No.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Alright.
Let's do this. We talk to ourselves and we smoke weed. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
And we're about to cruise from here to Ontario for July 1st to be there for Cannabis Day. And we're just not sure which city we'll be speaking in or appearing in. But we will be in Ontario by that time. Before then, actually. But I'm going to be spending some time with family and seeing my wife. And because she's down there right now with her family. So that's all important. And yeah, try to live it all in together. So it's going to be a badass trip.
Mm-hmm.
Never driven that far.
Nope.
Long way.
I've driven across the country. I've driven from Toronto to California, so that's quite the trip. That's a 5-day trip.
There you go. You see, I went from when I don't want to say what I did, but actually I had to run away from Ontario when I was younger, and I had to run to America. So I actually went from Ontario all the way to California, crossing through North Dakota, South Dakota, seeing Chicago, seeing all these different areas as you go through. It's quite a trip. So yeah, but having done that versus driving it all myself, that at that time we were on the run, so we were kind of hitchhiking and doing whatever we could to get to California. This time it's going to be blazing the Cheech and Chong Trail. You know, only it's going to be the Jay and Dano show, and it'll be just a live feed every day, doing just what we're doing. Most importantly, is we're going to be very interestingly engaging different people in different places. Dano's he's very subtle right now. But you don't want to piss them off about one, ingredients in the food if we're ever doing a live stream, and you really don't want to piss them off about whether he can or can't medicate in public, because that becomes an issue. So as we get into these smaller towns and we run into these people that are going to try and say, you know, you guys can't medicate, that's kind of where we're going to go live and have the Cheech and Chong thing kind of going for you. So yeah. Do we have like anybody tuning into us, kiddo?
I'm sure right now. 2 watching. Including me.
Okay, so we got like 2 people. Night owls, love y'all. Potheads, love you even more. Live in Canada?
1, 4.
He fucking A.
Might be Kelly. Might be Kelly K.
Right, Kelly K. Kelly K's up. And we got some new coalition shirts.
Now there's only one watching.
Even some new pink ones. Have they been shared everywhere?
I'm sharing them now.
Most
But
importantly,
you just lost that view.
most importantly to Facebook. That's okay. That's okay. Most importantly to Facebook and to the coalition group.
Mm-hmm.
That's right away. Bam. That's if there's anybody awake that's going to be in there and be there. They thought we were going to be on at 12 o'clock. And we just tried some of that clear. What do you think of the clear?
I love that clear.
Touchdown, the West Coast. Bam. Do the clear. Do it again?
Hit that stuff.
This time it's a scooper. Okay. See, I only did half of it. I'm still, bam.
Well, I
Like
don't
scoop
have
it.
to.
No, scoop. So that's what I mean. Do a nice chunk and then decide for yourself what you want to do. It's on the right temp. That just, if you again you're doing CO2 clear, you want to have just that right temperature, and it works out nice. And who knows? We might just give away Grandma Clear. We just did it on 2 shows ago. That's a $150 giveaway, you know, and we've been known to give away 9-gram joints.
And you know, you would, sorry to cut you off there, Jay. You would think that $150 for a gram, you would think that, my God, that's bloody expensive. But you know, like you look at what's on here, and you're gonna do this twice, and my God, the effects of this medicine is just insane.
Yeah, I know the clear. It's the next evolution. And again, we're talking organics, guys. Organics and solventless is the future for basic cannabis and for cannabis extractions. Not to mention the many things that you can then take clear and infuse it into, a host of different things. But then, of course, just as we were coming on air, Dan and I were just talking about the naturalremedy.ca. These cats are doing vapor infused teas using what initially goes in as beautiful organic flower, goes in, gets lab tested, lab checked out. Then the chemist goes to work on that stuff and extracts different cannabinoids and vapor infuses them as he sees fit to come to that 80 milligram dose of THC. And Yeah, it consists of 6 milligram dose of THC or of CBD. And those teas are what I was just talking about, Dan. Like when we're driving, we get really sore in the car. That's when we'll be, stopping at Tim Hortons and popping a couple of teas in to deal with the pain. Because I tell you now, any real patient that uses cannabis for pain inflammation, any real patient will understand what I'm saying and will represent when they try these teas. That's why we mail them out all around the country. And all the patients so far are still shocked that they worked for them. And to us, that's what matters.
Yep. It's
So,
almost like a citrus.
yeah.
The citrus blend.
The terps you can really smell and you can really taste. And again, there's questions that I don't know a lot about the terps, so I have to learn more. I don't know enough. I had Mobile Man Mark there. Marcus asked me a couple questions, and I wouldn't, I don't know the answer to exactly how they made or how it's done.
Yeah.
All I know is that it's organic. I trust the people that tell me it's organic.
The person to ask, or the person that might have the answers, is Jeff Cadet. In talking to him over the last week, he was telling me some of the percentage back or percentage comebacks or drawbacks of THC or terps to THC in the clear or something to that effect, which might explain the color to Marcus's question.
This lends a lot to the like Thompson Caribou. I've often looked at the color. A lot of people say that's a honey oil until you try it and if you actually play with it. It's almost like a liquid shatter, but it is. Every clear, like Thompson Caribou put a big picture out. They're a big stock that they're coming down, and hopefully they're going to be good prices for the patients. And not at 150. I mean, I don't know what reasonable pricing is. All I know is that the return. The return on having a high-end product, it's there, but I think that there has to be a way to bring down the price for the end user, especially if they're medical, because there's no way. I mean, this is like breaking out caviar or champagne for your guests that have cannabis. You don't break this out when you just have your regular friends over. You break it out when your special guests come over, type thing. So that's kind of where it's at right now, and that's unfortunate because I don't believe we should turn cannabis into caviar or champagne. Cannabis needs to be just free to the people and free to share and free to farm it out. What you do to your hair? Sideshow Bob, I do Sideshow Bob. I didn't even see that shit. I didn't even see his hair yet, but now I can actually call Sideshow Bob. And yeah, I'm joking. I feel sorry for all you little towns that try to tell him to put his joint out because you're gonna have a hell of a hard time dealing with him. I was gonna sit there and film like fuck. I'll my joint my mouth too, but I just want to film.
You just wait. You just wait.
He's even got the orange hair going on. I love it.
Just wait.
Jesus, it was 2 years ago. It was two years ago that Dano first came out here, and I was speaking at 420. I had a keynote speak to do, and Dano came out with his at the time girlfriend, and I actually stayed here at the condo, and that was the first time I had him out here on the West Coast, and was able to take him up on stage for 420 and give him the full experience of being in front of a 10,000 person crowd, which is very electrifying when you're up there. So yeah, that was kind of the beginning. We toured across this country for the Cannabis Rights Coalition, and now Cannabis Crusading. We're doing all that. We're doing some sci-fi. We're getting all these different brands, all these different people that help build the coalition and make it happen and continue to keep it alive. We're trying to make sure that these brands are successful, as they move forward. And most important, that the brands are representative of the end user. That's first and foremost. If the brands stop being representative of the end user, we stop representing the brand. It's that simple. We're here for you. What the hell? You blowing boogers all over everything all there, man.
Not clear, knock me out.
Boom.
I'm sweating, man.
Cannabis Crusaders clear. Check it out. MMJ THC Maple Ridge, guys. Check it out.
MMJ THC MR.
Motherfucking rocked.
Dot something. Right? MMJ THC
MMJ.
MR.
Yeah, there's something like that, but I'm just saying there's MMJ.
Right,
there's MMJ Vernon. There's MMJ Maple Ridge, and there's going to be MMJ All Canada eventually.
That's the MR Maple Ridge.
Ah, there you go.
You see?
MR Maple Ridge. See? So that's the Maple Ridge. Now again,
it takes the Ontario boy, right?
Well, Well, you're a crusader too, though.
That's
See,
right.
it took the Crusaders.
Without a
you know,
shirt.
now the
Thank you very
Crusader
much. I'm
joins.
getting one. I got one. I got it today. Thank
Yeah,
you.
he's got his Crusader
Thank you very
shirt,
much.
so he's the lion. We've got him hooked up, and
Ryan,
the lion actually, the
today.
lion founded the Crusaders and has set us in motion. And I'm proud to be with that crew and rolling with these guys because you know we are the ones crusading into the next generation, and we're the ones that came from the previous generation. You're not going to criminalize and marginalize the people that built this culture. You know that's not going to happen, and we'll beat your ass in the or in the judicial arm every single time because you simply got the Constitution of, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms to protect us. And you have very little except what you've done in Project Claudia. That's about the extent of what the federal government could possibly ever do. And really, it was LP money and other people working with the with the Metropolitan Police Force. In my own opinion, I'm just a BC boy. My own opinion on outside looking in, you guys got fucked. And our brothers and sisters got raped, going to fucking jail for victimless crime when they could have bled those clubs out like they're doing here in BC. They're not making a big show. They're bleeding the clubs out with tickets and fines. They didn't have to arrest our brothers and sisters with a plan to legalize. At the very least, you should decriminalize if you're going to legalize. You know, the common sense ain't dictating here. So we have to ask ourselves, why would you want to shut down and make the biggest mass arrest ever in Canada against cannabis patients and their providers? Why would you do that? Well, obviously there's big money saying first do it and get rid of the old, which is criminals, and usher in the new licensed producer scheme that I've been fighting for 4 years and I ain't going nowhere. You know, my vice president loves to say, we ain't fucking backing down, we ain't wavering. You may not like how we talk, you may not like what we do, but everybody seems to clap, yell, and celebrate when we do our walking. And my friends, we're going to keep walking again. I'm sorry if I'm ranting and sounding that way, but I'm getting jacked up. As we go across the country, I want to talk to a bunch of different people, you know, so people can have an idea of what exactly we did. You know, this wasn't all just fun and games. And believe me, the coalition didn't just fall out of the sky. It took a lot of dedication from certain people, a lot of work, a lot of free time, you know, and a lot of dedication and belief that we were right. Belief that the judicial arm would uphold the Constitution of Canada and protect us. That was a very hard belief, but we did it through collective peer action, collective peer empowerment, and that's what we're going across the country to do now. Re-empower you patients, remind you that we did this together. We all came up, we did this with our supporters, and we did it together. And we took down the federal government's monopoly.
Pictures of the shirts are gonna be going up.
Nice.
Okay, so my man Kelly's posting some pictures into the thread. So if you do, unfortunately YouTube kills the live thread once it gets saved for whatever reason. So you guys don't get to read the feed. So I guess actually I guess it was sent to me through email. So it's gonna get posted up on the thread, and you guys will be able to see that. I guess if you're online now, that's the only way. And hopefully our Facebook friends tune in. If they don't, we'll have to potentially flip on the Facebook camera because I'm not sure how else. I don't want to keep using two platforms. If I go on Facebook and we get 40, 50 people watching us on Facebook, it doesn't help with YouTube because then other people that don't go on Facebook can't find us. So using YouTube as a central platform and sharing it out to the different platforms, social media networks, makes it much easier for us to operate the hub. So hopefully you all understand that, and when we send the links out on Facebook, that's what it's for. And sorry for my tardiness. Honestly, I got my ass beat in corporate law. I got taught a hell of a lesson in being ripped off. You know, so the staff that I thought that I was hiring, the editors, the fucking writers, the website page designers, all those guys I hired, you know, they only work for somebody else. I didn't hire anybody because I don't own a company. Why I own a company that doesn't have a bank account. So when Cannabis in Canada, my company, has no bank account, you got to ask yourself who the fuck's paying all these people to run around pretending that they're Cannabis in Canada. Keep sending in the lawsuits, keep sending in the cease and desist letters, and take me to court, okay? Because they don't faze me. You're up against a national activist, you're up against somebody who has taken on the federal government, and you're up against a medical patient who you took advantage of. When all this comes out in court, when all this comes out on public record, it'll be your company that's damaged, and my brand will thrive.
They're already damaged.
They're damaged, but they're going to be more damaged. And what's good is that what matters, people understand, because I don't want to see this happen to anybody else. See, I can handle my own shit. I'm not going to sit here and whine about it. I'm not going to continue about it because my lawyers have asked me not to. But the point being is that people know that one, I ain't wavering, I'm still fighting, you know. So you'll see a different logo come up for Cannabis in Canada. You'll see a few changes, but I ain't wavering from my trademark dispute for the company. Then you'll see once I win that it'll be very fucking much public, you know, because then I got a couple other people in the federal government I want to go after. Anyway, that's a whole different issue. First, I got to deal with these fucking dicks. These dicks took me for a lot of money. They lied to me. They led me to believe that my daughter actually owned a percentage of this paper company that has no bank account, which is even more sicker. You know, lead a father to actually believe that his daughter owns a fucking portion of a company that doesn't exist. Sick bastards. Anyway, enough ranting about me. Someone can do it to you. It's called passing over. There's a law in this country that says you can't do it. Thank God I live in Canada. I'm proud of our judicial arm. And thank God what good karma comes back to those who do good things. And we do good thing in Allard, and good karma has come back to me. I've got a good law firm working with me, and some good trademark attorneys and agents that have already sought to protect my intellectual property. And that being said, I can't really say much more about it other than to you guys, please protect your intellectual property. Understand one thing, you can have founding rights, which means that you came up with the name, you built it, you've been using the name, then you can incorporate it as a business. And you can run it as a business for 10 years. Then one of these rich pricks can come along, and if your business ain't doing so well, they just simply slap a trademark on it. Now, by the time you find out is when you get a cease and desist letter that says stop using Cannabis in Canada or stop using your brand. You know, in my case, I never got a letter because I own the company. But in your case, you could end up getting that because if somebody gets a trademark, you know, on your company, then they could literally tell you stop using my trademark. And even though you own the company, you started it, and you put all this time in, you have to then oppose what this, because it's who files first. It's like a lawsuit. It's who files first. Lawyers understand this. I understand this. So these idiots filed first, 29 days before me, I file. Then you end up in a trademark dispute. It's known as passing over, trying to pass over someone's intellectual property and steal it for yourself without ever earning it and properly negotiating or buying, rather just taking it. And that, my friends, is not legal. That is called passing over. Check into it with your attorneys, look it up. And it's happening all over Canada right now at the LP level, right down to the general level. There's a lot of passing over, and that's some serious issues. And those with brands that care about them should seriously look into getting a trademark agent, spending that extra money to trademark your brand, because the cannabis industry is going to thrive over the next 5 years. And a lot of people with foresight can see that, and their investors, they're the ones moving forward with this. So these are the people making the money. They're the ones that are looking at cannabis legalization. Where you off to there, Sideshow Bob?
My phone is John. God, I need to charge it.
Yeah. Improv phone charging.
Got one right here, I think, somewhere.
Okay, we're talking to kind of a dead audience, but people will watch this eventually as they're catching up on the series.
Yes.
Or catching up on the series. And Sideshow Bob will be back here in a minute because he is actually kind of funny once he settles down. But he just got off a plane, like a friggin' 3-hour plane or 4-hour plane. I haven't eaten. Well, fucking an Italian that hasn't eaten now is shit. Don't get him started on olives.
I had a nasty plain food sandwich, nasty.
Subway?
It was.
Takeaway?
It was a $10. What did they call it? Pulled beef something. Nasty. It was nasty. $10. Well, I had. What else did I have?
What are you guys smoking on out there? If you got any questions or comments, we do have somebody working on our board for us, so they can let us know what the questions or comments are. Smart, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. We're up, we're stoned, we're doing stupid shit. We're gonna be doing this for the next full 2 weeks. We're gonna be really fucking stoned. We're doing a lot of really stupid shit just because we can. And we're also out there planting the seeds of liberty. And my friends, for those who don't know what that means, simply come and ask me, and I'll gladly sit down with anybody and sit and explain it to them. And especially medical patients that want to come out, let me know. We'll stop by. We're going to be stopping in almost every city. So, you know, there's different parties already planned. But get in touch with us, cannabiscanada@gmail.com, or get in hold of Vicky. You know, she's running a lot of stuff for me, even though she's in Ontario. She's helping to run with logistics and stuff there to make sure that this trip goes off without a hitch. And, of course, our entire board of directors for the coalition and national representatives are alert to this trip as well. So we want to make sure that everybody's fully aware of what we're doing, and hopefully where we're going, and in respect to awareness and information. Are you coming back on the show, or am I gonna have to
Yes.
keep like talking till I can't breathe anymore?
Yes, I'm coming.
I do run out of breath
That's at
eventually.
1%. I'm right here.
Okay, good.
I'm right here.
Start talking.
All right. So, how y'all doing tonight? I'm ready for a dab. So, thank you. Well, no, I have my stick. See?
Well, I got my stick, see?
Oh,
That's the special fucking. This is dab sauce stick. I got 2 of them.
ow!
Goes with dab sauce. I'm taking Queese on the road with me this time, but
Oh, get out! Speaking of Queese, I invited him over. I sent him a text.
invite him over where?
Here
When?
tonight.
It's like 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, I want to trade him. I want to trade him some gold for
Oh, that's true.
a
Yeah.
rig.
Yeah.
He's such a great artist, you know, and he's got this piece. This piece is calling out to me. It's calling me. So I told him I'd trade him some gold for this piece, and I'm just dying for this piece. And I told him I'd rep him so hard that you know everybody would be going to him for his glass.
I just realized look how nasty this thing is.
It's beautiful. Even as dirty as you keep it, it's nice.
No,
Just
that's
like
a $1,000 heady piece of Queese glass. That's Queese Hamilton. So
Yeah.
And it's got the quartz banger from the Earl Electric that we want to get going in the car. We got the inverters, so we just
Got the inverters in my suitcase.
yeah. So we're gonna bring the Earl Electric, and if need be, if I can't find a washer between here and Ontario, then I'll get one from Dave in Ontario personally, because I gotta get that little washer so I can strap on. It's a little MacGyver thing. You strap on basically your quartz banger onto your Earl Electric, yeah. And it's not even a washer. It's a washer, but it's a little plastic rubber one that doesn't burn. I put an elastic on there, and nope, melted right off. Fuck. And I'm no MacGyver, so any stoner ingenuity would lend to go to Canadian Tire and find.
Melted off. It sounds like it was in the wrong spot.
No, not the one that came with it. That one snapped. But the one that I tried using an elastic, and it just melted off and snapped.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Did you see this guy I picked up?
Well, did you find your ender?
Yeah.
Titanium.
Yeah.
These are the best. Michelle Rainey gave me one of these many moons ago, and I had it for a very long time. A space case. Nice. Made in San Diego, USA. And who says we're not going to legalize? So we have no comments or questions at all? People are just watching a stone and saying, well, who are these freaking stoners freaking watching standing on here?
Only 3 people.
Take this today. Thank you.
I guess one of them's Mickey.
Yeah, it's a mess.
2 people now.
Well, anyway, we just wanted to welcome Dano to BC, do a couple dabs, and yeah, just have a small chat with a few people, and
Look forward to the trip.
looking forward to the trip, of course. The trip is going to be
Kelly says I shall fart in your general direction. Take
Yeah.
that.
Oh, really? Really? This is this is reminding me of a sword fight. A sword fight.
Love the shirt shot. Yeah. Yes.
Did you post it?
It's
Shirt
actually
shot? Shirt shot. What?
right beside you.
Where's my sword?
Shirt shot. What are you talking about?
In the live stream.
Whose shirt is that?
That's the shirt's killing me.
Huh?
It looks good.
The hell are you trying to say?
Oh, Kelly says, love the shirt shot. I'm on the interweb.
Interwebs. Love it.
Oh,
Did you share it into that Facebook coalition group?
oh, the coalition group.
You think? There's only 6,000 people in there. Many of them patients that are up very late like us and don't give a shit, so they'll be out wanting to talk to us or at least medicate with us. They don't have to talk.
Kelly
Oh, we
knows
don't have
it's
to
me.
talk. We all just sit here and look at each other and go, and
What?
probably get away with that.
What are you freaking out about?
Kelly just said hi to me, and then I just realized this is our chat.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
want
he's
people
done.
knowing it's me. Oh,
That must be yours.
Dano from
Yeah.
Kelly. He says, Dano, I'm going to shave your head.
Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, that
Who's
was
gonna hold me down?
I will tranquilize his ass.
Oh yeah, lots of clear, buddy. Lots of clear.
No, I'll just get some animal tranquilizer.
Ah!
Fucking knock him out.
Yeah, right.
He
Special
says-
K.
Or he says, or at least shape it. LOL.
I said Sideshow Bob jokingly was coming in my previous show before he even knew he had dyed his hair. So honestly, that can live up to the Sideshow Bob.
This
If
can live up to
if he
Sideshow.
stands it up, if he wants to, he can bring in. Yeah, so it's gonna be funny in these small towns. People are gonna
If
look
you
at us
want
like,
it,
who
if
the
you
hell
want
are
it
these
Sideshow, man, I can make it Sideshow.
guys?
That's Sideshow yet?
Listen up. That works. Thanks for the laugh. So what else do we have to say about tomorrow? Tomorrow we gotta get up and go for a ferry. So it's like 1:18 in the morning, and we have to run for a ferry in the morning and
What
start
it-
our trip. Well, I gotta
Oh,
get a
no.
car. Oh yeah,
Kelly
we're waiting for the
says
bar to
we sh-
close. That's the only reason we're doing this live stream. God damn it!
Yo, we do a live stream so
I'm
we
trying
get
to
the
remember
car
why.
closed so we can move the car.
I was about to sign off. I'm like, why am I sitting awake again? Damn it! And it's right. I gotta go get the damn car, and we still gotta load all the
Kelly
coalition
said-
sweaters
That's
into
not
it.
why.
And yes, it is. We have to get all prepared because we are not prepared to go for the ferry.
Kelly says, wish you guys were here. And then he says it looks like a helmet. Your
Yeah, is that-
hat.
Last one? What's that? Binocular scope.
Binocular?
Okay,
So we're gonna
Kelly
be spying on
says,
people too.
Kelly says, wish you guys were here. LOL. It looks like a helmet, your hat. And a quote do. Dab day tomorrow.
Dab day.
That's what Kelly says.
Dab day. I'm in.
Yeah, we'll be in the Upper Island tomorrow in the Dano area, in Qualichin Bay area, and then we'll be heading down to Victoria and onto the ferry at night and off to Vernon. So we'll be at Vernon for tomorrow morning, and that's our present time schedule. And from Vernon, we'll be doing live streams to update you accordingly. It's gonna be a hell of a trip. All right,
Can't wait.
How many should we just kill this vinegar?
There's 4 people watching, and Kelly's the one hitting out the messages.
No,
Well,
let them hit it.
I think
Or should we go live on Facebook?
No, I don't know how to do that.
I do.
Let's
It's
not
Vicky
bother,
showing
because
me how.
people are going to get pissed off that you're going live from one thing to another. And I've already shared this to all the main.
Everybody can hear you too. Make you famous.
make you famous.
Good thing is people can come back and watch this on YouTube and note this to the viewers. There may not have been a lot of content coming around while I was sick. I took on hepatitis C, beat that out of my system with Tavani.
Beat it, kid.
And moving on now. But when you take a serious treatment and you take on a life-threatening illness, you need to take that time out for yourself and try to make things right. So I've been doing that and trying to get
Kelly
things
says
stronger.
I'm on it now, bros.
What?
He says I'm on it now, bros. BRB. I think he means he's gonna share it around.
Oh. Okay. That's not stuff we need. You let me know when there's a question. Sorry guys. Yeah. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm gonna keep talking about because I've basically said everything about the trip. Dano's like super quiet. Like, yeah, until we gotta wait till we get him fired up about something. Then when you guys will see, we gotta go live at that point. So.
Yeah. I've just been, I'm jet lagged. It's like really, what, 1, 2, 3, so it's really 4:30 in the morning for me. So.
You get hit with hard jet lag on the way out. That's right. And me, I gotta get to bed for this freaking drive. We gotta go driving over to see Kelly Kay on the island and a few other people. So it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely getting tired. But I gotta still go get the car. Or should we get the car in the morning?
I think we'll task that with Guinevere. Well, you know what? What?
What? No idea here what?
You don't think so?
It's like Bill's Ted's Excellent Adventure, man.
You know what?
Huh?
There's only
Huh?
one way to learn how to drive. And that's
no,
sink or swim.
no. I can't let her drive a new car without freaking license.
Sink or swim.
No, this isn't when we're freaking 20.
Hey, you know what?
15, 12.
Like us, like them, us or them, buddy. Here are the keys. Do it. Just do it. Go. Take it. Go around the corner. Don't get caught.
He's joking, Vicky.
Yes.
Kelly says he's supplying dabs tomorrow.
Yeah.
CRC to the bone.
Yeah, baby. You better be.
Come to Coquitlam Beach and hang out with us all tomorrow.
Qualquilum.
Qualicum.
Qualicum.
Qualicum Beach.
Qualicum.
Flowers.
There it is. Ganja bear.
Ganja bear.
Uh-oh.
My ganja bears come with me on this trip.
Oh, you heard that last time.
Well, I didn't want to get them damaged because I'm on a plane, and this time it's going to be in a car. I've got a suitcase now. I got a suitcase.
Dano, Kelly left a message for you. I have a pool too. Bring your Speedo. LOL.
I don't have one. I was in such a rush. I couldn't fucking bring any
Tell
fucking
him that.
bathing suit. So you know what? I gotta borrow your Speedos. But you know what? They're gonna fall off because of your fucking double XL. So I can't borrow your Speedos.
Fucking shirt you gave me, man. Seriously, I love you to death, bro. But shit, it's a dress.
It's a fucking food.
It is. I can go. Yeah, it is.
It's like a nightgown.
It is like a nightgown. I mean, yeah.
Ah!
Here, that one rep. Be careful.
And we do have
Oh,
pink.
no.
We do have pink. Pink Coalition T-shirts.
Oh!
Oh, get it. Oh, doggy.
Oh
fart.
fuck! I've got my nose is plugged and I can smell that shit.
Oh, that's organic puppy shit right there.
Woo!
Oh man.
Cut. Okay, live stream's over. Gotta go.
Where's
Good night,
the
everybody.
manager? The manager aired out.
Cut.
Who brought the fucking puppy?
Yeah, she ain't coming.
That wasn't right. Well, we thought about that.
Yeah.
Like, she had the runs, and I thought, oh my god, that dog had the runs in the trunk. And she's mentioned actually, well, what the dog got to poop in the back? Oh damn, yeah. And
Yeah. Can you imagine?
in discussion.
And, yeah, that's it. Fuck that. She ain't coming.
40 miles or 50 miles on the highway with dog shit in the trunk? No fucking way. No chance. That fucking smell would kill me. No way. I might be hippieing it, but I'm not going that back far. I ain't that much of a hippie.
That's it. You're fucking 3/4 of the way
We're
there.
not
The
burning
dog
crops
shits in
and
the
shit.
back. That's it. Turn around.
Ain't fucking happening on this road trip, man. No way. But we do expect to run into trouble, unfortunately, just because of the nature of the way that we travel and stuff. But we do expect to be bothered in certain towns and by police and certain locations we go to. So that'll be interesting too. So expect to see live feeds come on out of nowhere, just because that something could be popping off or going off. That we certainly want to make sure is documented for our lawyers.
Yeah.
That being said, we're gonna have a hell of a good time exercising our rights across this country. And hats off to MC Farmer. Anybody checked out his video online taking on the BC ferries? That led to Mr. Tusaw writing a letter to the BC ferries, reminding them that the seriousness of the problem and it needs to be fixed. These laws are arbitrary. They're overbroad. They're written for basically tobacco smoke for stuff that kills you, and cannabis is simply not addictive and equal to caffeine anyway. Cannabis can't kill you. At the end of the day, cannabis is your medicine. So if you can smoke cigarettes, if you can smoke cigarettes in a designated smoking area, that's what the courts, I can't remember which court case it was years ago, ruled that patients can smoke in designated smoking areas. But somehow BC Ferries feels they're immune to that. You can sit there and smoke your cancer sticks and give yourself cancer, but you can't medicate yourself to fight the cancer. That's fucked up. Think about it that way.
Yeah, they have a policy. They have a policy to prevent that. To
Encourage getting cancer and prevent
to
it.
wipe their ass against that. To prevent themselves against cannabis. To wipe themselves free from that. Fuck you.
Well, it's been an
BC
ongoing thing.
Ferries.
I mean, it is a long trip to travel on the ferries, and patients who need to medicate. And if they're able to smoke cigarettes up there, patients go up there. They're not really trying to bother anybody, but certain BC Ferries staff feel that it's take it upon themselves to address those people. No different than we get in small towns, where people still think they can walk up to you and tell you, "Go stand in the alley," or "Go stand off my property." If you're in a designated smoking area of anywhere, you have a right if you want to hold your ground. Now, you also have a right to get your ass kicked if people choose to kick your ass. So just remember, standing your ground doesn't always equate to a victory.
Yeah, no, this was obviously one guy that didn't like cannabis. He was against cannabis and he didn't agree with it. That was obvious.
Kelly says he's going to definitely shave your head. And two, he's gonna get you both greened out just cause.
He
You
can
can't
try.
green us out.
He can try.
Nobody can green us out.
Good luck. Good luck, Mr.
I don't know. I'm going to say
Cody.
nobody. The naturalremedy.ca is the only people who have knocked me on my ass in years, and that was their teas. And I took a couple of them because I underestimated them. Because of course, me, like most people, says no freaking way would it work in a tea. This is just a gimmick. Until I tried it, and then now when I realized the complexity of how they're made, and the standardization and the way in which they go about it. Yeah, it's amazing. Vapor infused tea bags. But for anybody who's using it for medicinal factors, it's better than any edible you're gonna get. At $5 a pop. That's just straight goods, and medical patients will attest to that. The more we send these teas out across the country, the more people will realize where the future of cannabis is going. And for medical patients, that means a lot to me. So I'm hoping to see the price market come down. I think it's going to have to. I think logic dictates that the market will have to drop for a price war to take place. The LPs are already selling at our prices or more, so I think that a price war will break up. It will break out, and I think that the smarter people will drop their prices and force the competition to have to match those prices. And that, in the long run, will hurt anybody that has a lot more oversight, and where the underground has no oversight. So I keep saying this: if you couldn't shut us down in 80 years of reefer madness, do you really think having a legalization platform is going to still allow you to criminalize us now? That's the only question I got. It needs to be free and fair in the country of Canada is where I'm going with this. You need to be able to grow a plant. If you want to go to a farmer's market and share it, you should be able to go do that. And it needs to be governed like a gun. If you're growing something that can kill somebody, or kill somebody in the process of growing it, that's a whole different thing. But this is the case. There's a lot of questions to be held. So anyway, I'm not going to get into trying to revisit Allard, because Allard again proved uncontested and getting money back that there's no public safety. So what's going to come now is what arises from Allard, which the Cannabis Rights Coalition of Canada believes will be arbitrary plant counts. And by that I mean potentially 6 to 12 plants per patient maximum. And your doctor can't say nothing about it because your doctor no longer prescribes. He only authorizes. In fact, they never really prescribed. Health Canada gave the mathematical formulation the doctors had to follow. So really, they just did that mathematical formulation that was thrown out when the MMAR was thrown out. So now they just authorize. And now when they come out with plant caps, that means that we can only grow X amount of cannabis. And if you don't get enough, well then I guess you got to order from the legal supply. That or else it's arbitrarily restricted on Section 1 of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which would be reasonable access. It's unreasonable to say that 6 plants or 12 plants is enough for any one patient, when Health Canada, by its own admission, says they don't know enough about cannabis to even call it medicinal.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole medical marijuana program, the $20 million companies, these $1 million court fights that are going on, it's all about a $7 billion industry. And that's been allowed these companies somehow to come into the country of Canada and set up under a false premise of medical marijuana, because the courts have said patients need access. but they didn't say patients need $20 million companies to supply the legalization market. That's a monopoly setting up under the medical arm so that they can actually extend into legalization, take over the country. I said it in 2012, this is about supply and distribution, cornering the market. Now, if you ever grew up in a street gang or sold drugs in the street as a kid, you would understand exactly what I'm saying about cornering and taking over the market. You know, it's all about supply and distribution. And that's exactly what these cats knew. And if they took the plants and the genetics from the people, they would have absolute control because everybody else would be criminalized. And then, of course, they had their fabulous Bill C-10. That would give mandatory minimums for 6 or more plants if you grow them. Do the numbers start to sound familiar? Thank God that bill got ruled unconstitutional as well. Anyway, I'm done ranting about this because, guys, I'm going to be coming across the country and ready to rant and rave a lot about the MMPR, a lot about the failure of the MMPR to be constitutionally unsound twice now, and once by the Supreme Court of Canada.
And what's coming up August 25th.
Yes, and I believe that when they go ahead and they legislate, and I really hope there's a small fraction of me that still believes that Canada can legislate without us even to go back to court and spend another, a couple $1 million of taxpayers' money, to realize that the government had a colossal failure and that their experts lied on the stand.
Again.
I mean, really, we know reasonable, and you got to look at R.B. Smith. I'm not arguing with you, Canada. I'm letting the people know. R.B. Smith, my friends, that language says you can use cannabis in all of its forms. All of its forms could be argued from root to fruit. From raw juicing, raw rooting, tropical applications, anything. All of its forms, all of its forms. The government's going to have a really hard time legislating this. They'll have an easy time arbitrarily capping the plant counts because the LPs are going to be lobbying to heavily restrict gardens. If they're going to allow gardens, they're going to need to be heavily restricted. Now, the courts have told them you have to allow gardens because you failed to substantiate the right to strip these patients of their liberty, and therefore you have to allow them to grow because there's no public safety. But that doesn't mean they're not allowed to come in and arbitrarily restrict us, and then we have to raise another $250,000 or another $1 million to go back and say, yeah, you guys fucked us again. You guys arbitrarily restricted us. And the courts will rule in our favor again. And then likely they'll do something else that'll be unconstitutional. And they'll legalize in a way that's unconstitutional, or in a way that's everybody's not happy with it. And eventually, hopefully after kicking up enough dust, we'll come to a final conclusion, and that'll be a free and fair market and a legalization market for Canada that we really want to see, rather than watching it on the news in America and wishing it was here when we're already at the federal level and have been since the year 2000 when Parker was won. That's the problem with all this.
Kelly said them sell shirts, LOL.
Oh yeah, well, we did mention shirts, and Kelly's ranting raving about shirts. So we got other t-shirts coming. I already mentioned there's pink ones, extra large ones for some of the ladies were mad that we ran out of extra large hoodies real fast, and there's not much we can do. We only ordered so much stuff in pink, but we've got additional pink t-shirts, and we'll have pictures of those up on the web. And
Double XL for Mama, Clodfather. I told you, double XL for Mama.
So
I
yeah,
already told you, man. You're just too damn lazy to go to the fucking post.
So-
What do you?
yeah, we're gonna call the show at an end, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the morning just before we take off. And actually, maybe not before we take off. We might just do our live stream from the ferry. We'll have to see how it goes because it's already really late. But we have to get some food into Dano and move on from there. So we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
Salute.